Okay, good morning, everybody. Welcome back to another course. This time we will be working on a mock exam. We will start as usual, dealing with the questions first, reading the questions first, to get an overall idea about the topic of that text. We will take the right option if this text is about virtual kidnappers, تدفين en ligne, virtual relationships, or overspending money, okay, spending money uh, in an excessive way. That's it. And then we will also take the moral lesson of the text. If it's about being patient with others, going online but trusting a few, or never leaving children alone. Great. Now, second question, you will be, of course, finding false statements in your exam. So we also have the paragraph numbers. So let's read about the first false statement. The child's mom managed to communicate with her daughter once more. Managing to communicate once more, there is a justification showing that she didn't manage to communicate with her daughter once more. Then the mom ignored the second request for money. There was a request for money, so she ignored it. We will see that she didn't ignore that request. Then the third statement, the kidnappers, مختطفين, got Kirsten's personal details from a friend. We will see what's the source of these personal details. It's not from that friend, okay? We will check in paragraph 4. Then we will be picking out two details from paragraphs 3 and 4, showing the authorities are aware of the matter. Okay, the authorities, نحكي على السلطات, معناها the police, all right, normally. Two details showing that they are aware, على علم بالkidnapping هذا. That's the matter. Then we will be matching titles with the right numbers of paragraphs here. Uh, we will be focusing on paragraphs 2, 3, and 4. You do have the headings or the titles. First heading, this is give and take. Then the mom is relieved, is feeling relaxed after her daughter is back. Then see such a hard time while her daughter is away. You will tell me about the right titles for each of the paragraph numbers here, 2, 3, and 4. Then the reference question there in paragraph 3 and it in paragraph 4. Also, we do have a question about synonyms here, or here you might have a word or an expression, all right? Okay, synonyms here, okay, words here that mean the first one, mentally unstable. This is unstable, this is an adjective. So we will be looking for an adjective from paragraph 3 that means mentally unstable, غير مستقر ذهنيا. A method of attacking, a method, this is a noun. So we will check that noun from paragraph 4, method of attacking a computer program. Then, next question, of course, your reaction to the content of the text. If you were Charlotte Robinette, would you deal with the kidnappers privately or inform the police? So we understand that this text is about kidnappers. Here, that question, you will tell me if you deal with them privately, you just manage to contact them alone, or you contact the police. And why? Why do you choose this? Why do you choose that? Great. Now after reading, of course, the questions, let's start reading the text. Great. Now, first paragraph here. Charlotte Robinette was packing up her lunch for work shift as a nurse when the phone rang in her home in Phoenix suburbs. So this is the place where she lives here. Mom, please help me. These guys, they have taken me. That's a call, phone call. She remembered hearing her daughter, Mom, help me. They have taken me. Then the mom or a man grabbed the phone and said, okay, we've got your daughter here. How much would you pay for your daughter's life? That's kidnappers. Okay, هنا مختطفين. They just kidnapped her daughter. Robinette pleaded, توسلت, pleaded to her, to hear her daughter again, but the kidnappers were blunt. They were turned deaf ears to. But that's the last you are going to hear from her. This is the last time you will be hearing your daughter, unless, of course, you do pay us. So that sentence I underlined or circled here shows that she didn't manage to contact her daughter again, to communicate with her daughter once more. It was the last, هنا قلنا في false statement, child's mom managed to communicate with her daughter once more, alors que it is said that's the last you are going, means the last time you are going to hear from her, okay, to hear her voice. So I'm going to quote this as it is and correct the false statement, okay? Writing that's the last you are going, that's the last quoting here, that's the last you are going to hear from her. And then I close the quotation mark. Okay, وتفهمنا. We just take details as they are from the given paragraph numbers and copy them in the space provided. Okay, rewrite them in the space provided. Great. I came back to our text here. Let's continue reading. So unless you do what we say, we are going to kill her. If you don't do what we say, we are going to kill her. They told Robina to drive her to the bank. Then she was instructed to wire money to an address in Mexico. Each time she sent money, they asked for more. Each time they sent money, they asked for more. She didn't give them once that money, all right? Each time she asked for money, they simply asked for more. Great. I continue reading. This went on for like all day, then they wouldn't let me sleep at night, Robinette said. Great. This is paragraph number 2. Let's move on to paragraph 3. Finally, she was nearly ready to collapse from exhaustion. She was completely exhausted. She was going to collapse, to faint. ما انهارت complètement because of the fatigue, because of the exhaustion. They gave her the boldest order yet. Déjà, it was another request that this time is to cross the border. بعدها مش تمشي من أمريكا into Mexico. مش تحط فلوس في البنك. Depositing money directly into a bank there. There, bien sûr. مش تعود على شنو, bien sûr. Depositing the money in Mexico. In that bank. In the bank, that bank in depositing money where? The bank in Mexi, that's evident. That's in the bank in Mexico. There, paragraph 3 refers to the bank in Mexico. Great. هنا paragraph 2. Paragraph 2. Of course, it was a hard time because her daughter was away. It is evident that C plus paragraph 2 here. هنحكيه قبيلة in paragraph 2. That shows clearly because she was bleeding and because she was simply worried about the fate of her daughter. That's evident that this is a hard time for Robinette, the mom, because of her daughter who was away. Simply, she was kidnapped. Great. So that's evident. Title C, which is here, let's come back to it. Such a hard time while the daughter is away. But we come back to paragraph 3 here. Paragraph 3. Donc, revenons à reference question. This is the word there. As we said, this is the bank in Mexico. Then after finding the bank of kidnappers' choosing, she deposited money. هنا حطت فلوس. She put that money in that bank. The very last dollar she had in her IRA, she was told to drive home and wait for instructions on picking up her daughter. And they simply asked her to drive home to come back to USA, and then waiting for the instructions on how to pick her daughter up. And adding to that nightmare, اللي هو شنو nightmare اللي هو الكابوس لأن that's a bad dream. She was stopped at the border. She was stopped at the border by the federal agents. And the federal agents learned she had 2 guns in her possession. C'est une indication qui montre que le federal agents, the police, le FBI, and I learned that there is something, let's say, doubtful in the case of Robinette here. They doubted something because she had 2 guns in her possession. Donc, that shows this detail, shows that the police or the authorities had an idea about something tricky there. Okay, so federal agents, let's go to that question, showing that the authorities are aware of something going on. All right, details, paragraph 3 here, and showing that well, this is from paragraph 3, the details I'm going to write here. So federal agents where, let's say here, they just caught her precisely. They learned she had 2 guns in her possession. Learned she had 2 guns. Learned she had 2 guns in her possession. That's the first detail showing that the authorities were aware of the matter. Great. And of course, it's a matter of give and take here, paragraph 3. Paragraph 3, A plus 3. She was given them money. She moved to Mexico to deposit money there. Of course, giving that money to take her daughter, to take her daughter. That's evident here. So, title A, give and take. That's concerning paragraph 2. Right. Another word here that means mentally unstable. As I said, we need an adjective from paragraph 3. Let's come back to paragraph 3 and check that word, mentally unstable here. To read it very closely and precisely here, let's check the word here. She was, at the end of paragraph 3, she was frantic over her daughter's fate. She was simply mentally unstable. She was, let's say, so worried about the fate of her daughter, Masir بنتها. She was frantic. Frantic means here, as an adjective, mentally unstable. Right? She was mentally unstable. So that's being frantic. That's it. Great. Now, moving on to the um, okay, before paragraph 4, here it says that the full statement that we will correct from paragraph 3, it said that the mom ignored the second request for money. Uh, it is evident in paragraph 3 that the mom deposited the money, the very last dollar she had in her IRA. بالعكس بعد ما قالوا لها تمشي لمكسيكو and she used to find the bank there, and of course she deposited the money. Okay, that means that she didn't refuse to answer their second request. Donc I'm going to write she deposited the money. So after finding the bank, she deposited the money, the very last dollar. نجم نكتب حتى من هنا حتى شيء IRR. That means that she simply answered their second request. She deposited the money, and she deposited the money. She didn't ignore, of course. On the contrary, she deposited the money. نرجع للفقرة نكتب كما هي الديتيل. The very last dollar she had in her IRA, the very last dollar in her bank account, the very last dollar in her IRA. Okay, in her bank account here. Right. Now we can move on to paragraph 4. She eventually called her daughter's cell phone. Finally, she reached her daughter, and the daughter answered, Christian, are you okay? Where are you? Robinette asked her. Sitting right here at my house, her daughter replied. She was at home. Robinette was a victim of the FBI calls what? That's called virtual kidnapping, اختطاف à travers l'Internet, en ligne. They call it virtual. A crime that often originates from inside prisons in Mexico. Criminals ambush victims at odd times, scare them into sending money. They simply try to ambush victims by scaring them, by making them terrified. They want money simply. They want them to send money, their victims. The stories are enhanced by research on social media. هنا نحكيو على social media, not a friend. Kidnappers got Gerson's personal details, not from a friend, but they get details about people kidnapped from the social media. Okay? Now I'm going to quote here from the stories till social media to show that the information is not from a friend, but that's from the social media. Okay? So I'm going to write the stories are enhanced Stories are enhanced. Stories are enhanced by or by research on social media. By research on social media. Great. That's correcting that false statement, which says that it is from that the information is from friends. All right, good. Now coming back to that paragraph here. In some cases called ID spoofing. If you get details, personal details about people from social media, that's spoofing. This is attacking details in computer programs. Spoofing. Okay, that's answering that word, that um, definition, which is the method of attacking a computer program. This is called spoofing, all right? To normally access personal details of people. That's attacking their computer program. That's called spoofing. Right. Now, let's continue reading. This spoofing, makes the person believe that the call is from a loved one. The FBI has issued multiple warnings about this scam. معناتها ديجا في بالهم الاف بي اي اللي هي الاثوريتيز ولا البوليس ولا الفيدرال ايجنتس لهنا ديجا في بالهم بالموضوع ديجا عطاو warnings multiple warning العديد من التحذيرات and this is a scam that's scamming great so that's also another detail showing that the authorities are aware هنا from paragraph 4 this time. The authorities are aware. Why? Because the FBI have issued many warnings about that scam. This is scamming details here, personal details. Um, this is simply trying to access personal details of people online. So I have here, that's it. So I have issued multiple warnings about this scam. This is another detail showing that the authorities are aware of the matter, of this big problem, which is what here? Which is normally the main idea of the tax is about what? It's about no خلينا نحكي واضح لأنها مش virtual relationship مش overspending money on the part of the mom التركيز الكلي في التكست بتاعنا على virtual kidnapping. That's the main idea of the text, virtual kidnappers. Great. The moral lesson, let's just finish then the text then. Check that moral lesson. Right. So the last two sentences. Robinette sent about $11,000 to her virtual kidnappers, and the incident still haunts her. I don't know how long it was before I got enough sleep. إيه شنو أنا getting enough. This is a little bit challenging. Huh? It was before getting that enough sleep. I don't know how long was it before I get that long sleep. So it refers to getting a long sleep. خاطر هي ريفيرونس هنا نورمالمون نرجع تالي من هنا الفكرة جاءت من بعد it no, getting a long sleep that's the main that's what this it refers to and of course what remains as a title for paragraph 4 the mom normally is feeling relaxed relieved after what after the daughter is back. So B, this is plus um, paragraph 4. That's it. B. Donc, لهنا نورمالمون جاوبنا قعدنا كم كيستيون الأخرى جاوبنا على الفول statements justement voilà what's the moral lesson of that story. Is it being patient with others؟ ما حكيوش على الباسيونس لهنا في التكست بتاعنا. Is it going online by trust fee? Is it never leave your children alone؟ ماشي never leaving your children alone. If you go online you need to trust a few. ما لازمكش تعطي ثقة في الناس الكل. That's the moral attitude behind that story. So it's okay surfing on the net, going online, but you need to trust few people. Okay, pay attention. That's the moral lesson behind that story. I, if you go to the last question now, if you were Charlotte Robinette, would you deal with the kidnappers privately or inform the police? If I were Charlotte, normally, that's my point of view, of course. Huh? You can write down anything. That's logical. For me, I would inform the police. It's because they know, the police, they know how to handle kidnappers. يتعاملوا كيفاش يتعاملوا how to deal with kidnappers. Yeah, طريقة professionnelle. Okay, kidnappers, let's say. How to handle kidnappers professionally. Okay, they are more professional than me. Okay, so professionally, double L here, full stop. دونك هنا جاوبنا على الكيستيون الكل في علاقة بالتكست متاعنا. ديما نقول لكم راهو التمشي متاع الكيستيون في الامتحان يكون من general to specific. معناها هنا l'idée générale moral lesson par exemple ما ندخلوا في الديتاي. false statements مش تلقاو موجودين، مش تلقاو موجود details about certain paragraph numbers كيما لهنا. مش تلقاو reference questions، مش تلقاو synonyms words expressions، ومش تلقاو bien sûr last question which is your point of view, your reaction to what is mentioned as a major idea in the text. That's it. Okay, we finished with reading comprehension. Let's move to the writing task. Let's start with the guided writing task. Here we will talk about action against hunger organization اللي هي نجم نستعمل كما قلت لكم في الامتحان les acronymes AAHO. بالنسبة للestablishment تفهمنا نستعمله was established. Je vais écrire avec d'autres couleurs. Was established. If you are given the year, this is the preposition in. All right, pay attention. Don't. It was established in 1979. Uh, الهيدكوارترز معناتها المقر الرسمي، المقر الرئيسي متاعها. نجم تقول مثلا هنا it وتحط لي is located. تحكي على مقر دونك تستعمل لي it is located in it is located in voilà. Many cities in the world. Well, it has headquarters. Well, it has headquarters in many cities in the world. تجب تستعمل هنا. It has. It has. Donc, في blast, it is located in. تجب تستعمل هنا. It has headquarters. Je vais écrire ici, là. I will provide space here. Donc, it. تجب تستعمل قلنا has. headquarters in many cities in the world, namely مش تعطي les exemples بتاع cities ما هو مش les exemples ما namely ما مش تذكرهم الكل namely New York in USA Toronto in Canada donc précisément هنا لاحظتوا شيء هنا in many capital cities المقال capital cities okay. Many je vais écrire ici many capital cities in the world, namely قلنا New York in USA, Toronto in Canada, that's capital city of Canada, London in UK, Paris in France, Madrid in Spain, Mumbai in India, and and Milan in Italy. Full stop. The purposes, or نحكيو على the goal, نحكيو على the objective, that's the meaning of purpose of that organization is to end child hunger whilst providing communities with access to safe water and amazing solutions to hunger. به. هنا وقت اللي يعطيني قلنا ال purpose نستعمل this expression تنجم تقول its purpose is to كما تنجم تقول it aims to هنا it aims to ثم تعطيني الفكرة it aims to هنا قلنا and child labor all right whilst providing communities with access to safe water and amazing solutions etc حتى شيء نوصلوا دونك تكتبوا bien sûr في الامتحان الكل till the word hanger you write down all these خدوا بالكم تفهمنا you need to use all the information here do not skip do not miss any of the given notes here pay attention great so the region served over 51 countries around the world donc هنا نجم نقول نفكر باسمها AAHO works puisqu'il sert des régions donc it works donc تعمل in over tout simplement in over 51 countries around the world works in over هنا خليني نكتبها works d'autres couleurs d'accordo this is a key word that might introduce that last point donc as simple as that so AAHO works in over 51 countries around the world that's it all right good هنا اللي خدمناهم بالكولور vert هما الكي words that might help you in introducing any organization bien sûr organization هنا دو بالكم organization and organization this is a spelling mistake here N-I not N-A okay organization pay attention great so AAHO was established in or the establishment was established in it has headquarters in many cities. Well, it is located in many capital cities in the world, namely, and you mentioned the cities, for the purposes or the purpose or the goal of the object. It aims to end. Okay, this is just one purpose. No, it's not purposes. It aims to end child labor, so on. AHO, if you want to introduce the regions served, works in over 51 countries around the world. That's it. That's as simple as that. All right. Moving on to the essay, the topic. You have just heard that a friend of yours decided to move from the countryside to the city. Send him a 12-line essay to express disagreement, given arguments, logical arguments here to trying to convince him to change his attitude or to change his mind. هنا حكينا فيه الموضوع في un devoir précédent. مي الطرح متاع cette fois متاع الموضوع هذا بالذات متاع city versus country life. This time you need to address your talk to a person here. You will send a friend here. This is the person you are addressing. This is the friend. Okay. مش ندخل برشا from to they eliminated. Um, you just simply start with the starting. If it is a letter, dear friend. Okay. If it's a letter to your friend, so dear friend. As simple as that. هنا واضح طلب مني إني نقنعه bien sûr convincing him not to go to the city okay because you disagree with that أه؟ هنا واضح سي أورينتيل هنا بس نحكي علاش ما يمشيش ولا نطلب منه ما يمشيش للcity because of many of course many you do have many arguments we will remember them together in our essay here. به كجملة بداية لهنا نقول ما كintroduction bien sûr اللول بكل مش نقول bien sûr لهنا let me use the blue color here. I heard سمعت بيك I heard that you are planning okay I heard you are planning to move or to leave the countryside, the countryside, and move to the city. Okay, countryside, and move to the city. Full stop. طبعا مش نعبر على الديسagreement متاعي طلب مني disagreement هنا مش نقول له honestly I think you should reconsider this لازم تراجع روحك لهنا honestly H لهنا لاحظوا capitalized honestly comma uh, I think نجم نقول I think you should reconsider this تعود معناتها تعاود تخمم تعاود تراجع روحك لهنا تراجع فكرة movement to the city reconsider this bien sûr وقتها باش تدخل في الارجيومنتاسيون علاش لهنا نطلب منه انه يراجع نفسه علاش لهنا I disagree with him أم، نجم نبدأ نقول life for example هنا in this city might seem exciting but it comes with many challenges هنا it's sometimes somehow tempting you to come to live there, but it comes with many challenges. in song هنا life in the no, the city might seem ذكرناش الفكرة الأساسية هنا. In the city might seem exciting. Might in the city of course might seem exciting, but but it comes with many challenges. Uh, but it comes with many مش نذكرها مثلا these challenges. I will just mention some of the challenges there. With many, just a moment here. Let me fix that. It's with many challenges. Great. Challenges normalement كيما مثلا pollution, like pollution. Okay, to introduce the examples here, like pollution, like stress, uh, the mass, the high cost of living there, the high cost. Let me clarify this stress. Le coût de vie, c'est le coût de vie, il est trop cher là-bas. The high cost of living. All right. The high cost of living, etc. Okay, etc. Many challenges there. Full stop. Um, شو نقولوا um, however alors que لهنا شنو however um, in the countryside you have more peace, fresher air, you enjoy more peace, stronger sense of community. No, however, in the countryside, in the countryside, um, you enjoy fresh air, you have peace, you enjoy peace, fresh air, um, also, as I said, a stronger sense of community. فما ترابط اجتماعي كبير بين سكان الريف bien sûr. That's strong and a strong sense of community that you will not find in the city. Okay. People don't know each other. Not the atmosphere is not lively, is not vibrant when it comes to human relationships in the city, of course. أم، باش نعطي argument آخر باش نقول هنا أداة تنجم نستعملها بدوتر كولار besides إلى جانب ذلك besides bon euh, transport في السيتي it is very exhausting commuting مشي وجاي uh, transportation there commuting to and from work okay, now let me make it clear that's commuting double M going to and back using means of transports commuting in the city is very exhausting c'est très fatigant can be very exhausting. Mhm. المترو الباصز and it's also time consuming, all right, and time consuming. Um, why not stay where life ننصح أنا أقول why not stay وين أنت موجود توا في الريف why not stay where life is simpler اللي هي الريف ليش في الريف the life is simpler أكثر سهولة and more affordable also I can say more affordable um, is simpler and more تعطيك كل شيء متوفر um, بسهولة more affordable why not just asking him just to wonder why do you take that decision you could visit نجم نقول له you could always visit the city, but occasionally, okay, but occasionally, not staying there without giving up the quality of life uh, you already have. Uh, you could always visit the city, but occasionally. قلت لهنا الخطاب لهنا متاعي موجه للصديق متاعي هذا الفرق بين الارتيكل واللتر هنا اللتر نورمالمون معناتها في مخك تخاطب شخص معين لهنا friend بيان سور لاحظوا السبجكت باش تعمل ديما اليو لهنا you you here Hmm? I have heard you are لهنا I think you should لهنا you should reconsider لهنا تهربش من الموضوع متاعنا مش تحكيش دي جينيراليتي لهنا تخاطب الشخص المعني بالأمر اللي هو يحب يغادر من الريف للمدينة طبعا هنا نرجع نقول في mon dernier argument you could always visit the city but occasionally from time to time and not staying there all right not staying there occasionally let me rewrite it correctly all right okay occasionally okay so you need to visit occasionally. Um, let me fix it here. Occasionally, all right. There's just one S. Pay attention. Occasionally. All right, that's correct now. So, you could visit it occasionally without giving up uh, the quality of life you already enjoy in now. Okay. So without them, giving up غير ما تسلم فيش في quality of life you already have the quality of life you already you already have great all right good so I'm going to end up and say think it over carefully think it over carefully huh Reconsider your decision. Think it over uh, carefully. Think it over carefully. Um, Moving isn't always the best course. It's not the best solution, all right? Uh, isn't always moving, of course, to the city, to live in the city, isn't always the best solution. Ain't always the best solution here. All right, great. And this is full stop here. The closing salutation here, normally I end up by saying, for example, best regards or simply yours. Right? Do not write your names in the exams, of course, the national back exam, of course. Right. I will reread it here. I heard, dear friend, I heard you are planning to leave the countryside and move to the city. Honestly, I think you should reconsider this. Life in the city might seem exciting, but it comes with many challenges like pollution, stress, and the high cost of living. However, in the countryside, you enjoy peace, fresh air, and a strong sense of community. Besides, commuting in the city can be very exhausting and time consuming. Why not stay there? Why not stay where life is simpler and more affordable? That's question mark here. Um, you could here. This is could. Yeah, you could always visit the city, but occasionally, that's the right spelling, occasionally. Double C, just one S. Without giving up the quality of life you already have. Think it over carefully. Moving on. Moving to the city isn't always the best solution. So moving isn't always the best solution. That's it. All right, that's it. Great. Um, I think it's very clear. The information is very clear here. The whole essay is very clear. Um, that certainly might serve you in your exams if you ever had such a topic. Life, country life versus the city life, certainly. Great. Now, we move on to the language part. Let's check the words, fill in the blanks here. Words. Basic, pay attention. This is not capitalized. This is minimal letter. Basic, this is adjective, especially adverb. You know them. Ignorance, الجهل. This is noun. On preposition, due to, at preposition, valiant. This is an adjective that means brave, courageous, courageous, skilled or talented. This is adjective here. Brain drain, bon, petite idée sur le brain drain. Brain drain is closely associated with human capital deficiencies and obstacles in economic development. In spite of its crucial economic implications, okay, well, implications, well, consequences of the brain drain, nations, and the developing ones, nations surtout كيفاش نقول surtout developing ones معناتها ال poor countries especially that's evident تبان لنا من spelling نقلب بالصحيح ها نقلب البوكس بالصحيح especially the developing ones have failed to prevent brain drain failure فشلوا انهم يمنعوا هالفينومين هذا بتاع brain drain بسبب الفوكس on restrictive policies بسبب to collocates with due due to بسبب because of both words here due to collocate مثل زمين هذا هي donc due to what to focus on simple restrictive policies and the of هنا ماشي كان noun بين the و and of ماشي كان noun بين الزوز هذوما je crois que عندي un seul nom اللي هو ignorance un seul nom في الباكس دونك نكتبه هو من غير حتى ما نفهم السونس the ignorance هنا of institutional factors like weakly enforced law and order unfulfilled what type of human rights حقوق الإنسان الأساسية I'm qualifying these human rights as basic human rights all right basic human rights كما قلت لكم ردوا بالكم ماهيش ماجيسكول ها that's minimal data basic وديجا يعطيكم ماهيش ماجيسكول باسكو سي با في البوكس بيان سور باسكو سي با ان ديبي d'une phrase and others in preventing the outflow of what type of labor باش نوصفهم compound adjective saying this is highly skilled hautement qualifié highly qualified labor or skilled thus means so to express consequence this paper aims to investigate the impact of institutional quality l'effet كما نقولوا l'effet sur impact of engineer on brain drain that's the word here not at on brain drain so the impact of institutional quality on brain drain in 100 countries so on all right I think it's clear here دبرنا نقلوا مليح بالصحيح الكلمات من البوكس بعد فوت دورتوغراف نثبتوا لهنا في كل سبيس كل بلانك what do we need verb adjective كمان هنا we need a noun هنا لهنا highly plus hyphen plus past participle to give a compound adjective قلنا impact واضح لهنا preposition بتاع impact هي on that's it okay moving on to the circle the right options here let's start reading نحكيو على ethical behavior شو التكست بتاعنا قبيله تابع للصوم بتاع الاتيتيودز كما قلنا قبيله the moral lesson اللي هي go online but trust few people pay attention هنا زاد الفقرة بتاعنا this language activity is about that lesson attitudes so ethical behavior is characterized by honesty fairness equity in interpersonal professional and academic relationships in research and scholarly activities ethical behavior respects the dignity, the diversity, and the rights, les groupes, rights of groups, and also in the individuals, not your enemies or your imposters, but it's individuals and groups of people. A sample of 385 youngsters, sample اللي هو échantillon, modèle, in India هنا نحكيو على that sample أخذ passivize your sentence was plus past participle was plus was taken that's passive verb this is a So was taken from for study. Bien sûr, السامبل مش هو اللي يقوم بالأخذ، هو أخذ. Pourquoi? Pour faire une étude for study from youngsters in India and the dimensions of awareness. أبعاد الوعي. أبعاد الوعي. These are مش ندرسوا various or many dimensions of awareness linked in ethics, and these are evaluated avec l'aide نتاع الانترفيو schedule. Avec l'aide were evaluated with the help of and then data المعلومات اللي لميناها ولا جمعناها. This is data collected. We collect data. So the data collected were analyzed with the help of percentage analysis. Bien sûr, reliability percentage. pourcentage فيها pourcentage كبير بتاع reliability. نقصد بها شنو معناتها حاجة موثوق بها. الاناليز دي فيها دي pourcentage موثوق فيهم. Reliability percent. Factor analysis. Confirmatory analysis of ANOVA. In a recent study, it was on a trouvé معناها لهنا trouvé مش founded اللي أسس مش finding was plus past participle encore une fois لهنا passive sentence. So this is we just circled found was found. It was found that ethical behavior youngsters was clear through social media. It is observed that the impact of ethics on posting and ethics on identity are equally proportionate. This is clear that youngsters, their ethical behavior, this is so clear on through that social media. That was found. اللي هو past participle from the verb to find. All right. Moving on now to the last exercise. هنا نحكيو على supplying the correct tense or verb. Let's start reading. It may be tempting, attractive to raise the temperature in your home a few degrees. But according to energy.gov, if you lower the temperature to about 7 to 10 degrees Fahrenheit for 8 hours a day, you can, plus base verb. يعني واضح هنا you can بعد المودal verbs يجي base verb. You can save nearly 10%. Bon, بعد can, must, should. All the modal verbs bien sûr are followed by a base verb. So 10% on energy costs each year. You could do this while you are sleeping, while تعطيني progressive action بعد. Or if you are هنا التنس هو البريزنت. هنا نحكي على describing an action in the present while you are sleeping. تستعمل present progressive. كما قلت لكم ردوا بالكم while تعطيني بعدها progressive action. pendant que انت في النوم نائم en train de dormir. That's it. While you are sleeping and if you are away from home during the day for long stretches of time. لهنا جاني verbe début d'une phrase. Bien sûr عطاني H capitalized هنا. إذا كانوا verbe début d'une phrase مش يكون subject وذا الverb is تستعمله في الجيراند. الجيراند اللي هي شنيا تحطه في ing form if it's a verb starting a sentence. Given an idea, yeah. Having a smart thermostat is a great way to keep your home temperature running. How? رانينغها باش نسأل رانينغها باش تخلي تمبيراتور في الدار تمشي كيفاش؟ اليوس في الفيرب هو الادفيرب. باش نزيدو efficient باش يولي adverb. نزيدو efficient نزيدو ly. That's it. Okay, efficiently, running efficiently. All right. Setting your home. Bon, هنا تابع الجملة bien sûr. This is not capitalized. Setting home to what type of temperature؟ أقل من قبل. Donc, comparative باش نزيدو puisque we compare temperatures now to the previous ones. Bien sûr, نزيدوها الشورت adjective لو نزيدو er. Huh? To a lower temperature, lower than before. Now, comparing present to the past. Can also prevent heat what? Heat البيرت متاع الشالور معناتها حاجتني بالنون من lose which is heat loss. That's loss from your home during the winter. According to energy.gov, besides sealing drafty windows and على وزن bien sûr لهنا تابع جمع sealing drafty windows and كيما sealing كيما باش يجي من بعد اللي هو parallel structure ing verb adjusting your thermostat. There are other low-cost methods to keeping your home warm. Keeping your curtains open to allow the sun in during the day can help keep your home warmer. Warmer is that comparative. But remember to close the curtains at night. These are ways to save energy. Good. So that's it with the language part, with the writing tasks, and with the reading comprehension tasks. Donc, I wish you the best of luck in your mock exam, and we will be meeting in review sessions. Of course, after this mock exam period. So, best of luck. Donc, bonne chance dans l'école. Bien sûr, باش يكون عندنا لقاءات des séances de révision إن شاء الله. Thanks for attending. Bye bye.